Good morning, Facebook. Sorry we didn't start on time, and so we had to redo it, but that's okay. Technology is technology, right, guys?
Yes.
So Susan Cook with Rialto Academy, Karen Daly Ekofo with Ekko Title, and Christina Smith with Caliber Home Loans. Hi, ladies. How are y'all?
Hi. Good. How are
I
you?
can't see my hand. So I have been in, I was sharing with them, I've been in Valdosta, Georgia for the last 2 weeks, and I like it enough to where I think I'm going to stay. And so maybe we can still kind of do these things, as we go along, and I can report on Valdosta's market. I don't know. We'll just see how this goes. But we're here to give Nova industry updates, and from your local board as your ambassador, I've got a couple of things that are really, really important to talk about. Continuing Ed, DAAR is still offering Continuing Ed and free CEs for their members and discounted PLEs to meet your real estate education. You can visit the site, and you can get your, and that's for brokers too. I believe that they offer the 8 hours that are additional for brokers in October. Learn how to research land records on September the 13th. Karen,
that's really good.
You can also do too,
Yeah.
September 13th from 3 to 5. Join us at the Loudoun County Courthouse in Leesburg. On September 13th, the Honorable Gary Clemens, Clerk of the Circuit Court in Loudoun County. You'll hear about the important services provided by the clerk's office, how to get copies of land records, and how to access those records remotely. Oh, wow. That's important. Yeah. So that you can do that. It's $20. Attendance is free for members and $20 for non-members. So, guys, if you are not a member of DAAR, that does not mean that you cannot go to this class. And it's very important because a lot of consumers want to know the history of our properties, and it's really good when you're going on an appointment, for a listing to research those land records sometimes. So I would mark your calendars and make it a point to go to this class. Heads up, directions fields on Bright MLS are going to be added. The buyer's agents can easily access this information on listing reports. Directions will become a required field, and I have been following the Facebook group on Facebook about Bright MLS and the changes and everything. This is not very popular with us. We have become very dependent on our phones and our GPS systems. And Bright has decided that they're going to make it a mandatory to do that. So for more information, you can also go to dullasarea.com and see more about that. Also, Christine Wendell sent in the news for the week of 7/15. If you want to be a DAAR board of director, on the board of directors, the deadline to apply is Friday, August the 8th. And I can't stress, I have been on this committee, the DAAR ambassador, for the past 2 years. Yeah, two years. And it really is rewarding to give back to your group, to your peers, and I have found a way to make it work, as with this broadcast, to bring information to the realtors out there, So I would encourage everybody to, if you have a heart for service, to go to your whether it's DAAR or MVAR or GCAR or wherever you're located, to give to your board and help your peers by serving in some capacity. There's new educational toolbox for the CentriKey real estate app. There is a new app out there. I'm sure that everybody out there who is active has downloaded it and started working with it. There's not much changes, but DAAR has some information about that. And they also have tips to comply with the Do Not Call registry. And this is the main reason why I wanted to bring this up. There are lawsuits out there, guys, right now attacking us as real estate agents and real estate professionals and the way we do business. And one of them is about all around the Do Not Call and a registry and our blatant violation of it. Some agents that's part of their business. Please, please, please go out there, and if you want to make this a part of your business and working expires, for sale by owners, withdrawn listings, I don't care what it is. I know that it is something that we do. Make yourself aware of what the laws are around it. And Dulles Area Association of Realtors has some tips on how to comply with that law, the FTC. Okay,
Yeah.
It's serious stuff right now, and there are many lawsuits right now that are going to change our industry. They are. Stay on top of them, please, for your own good. If you enjoy it, don't rally against it or whatever. Just stay on top of what's going on. Sign petitions. There's a petition going around right now about honesty in real estate. Get involved, stay informed, stay compliant. Okay. And my soapbox, I'm broadcasting from Valdosta and the local Starbucks. So even in Southern Georgia, y'all, technology is the king. Okay. So I'm going to turn it over to who is next to me, but Karen. And Karen, what you got for us today?
So one thing that we're seeing is, the inventory that was bought during the boom, right? When the real estate market was hot and then it crashed, and then people got loan mods or they went through that whole program. And now they're selling their houses. And I just have a case. It's going to close tomorrow, but this particular seller had done some loan mods. And one of the things that borrowers don't realize when you do a loan mod is that sometimes there is a partial claim, especially for government-backed loans, which FHA, there were a lot of FHA loans that are made, just in general. And then during the great, like when everything exploded.
The Great Recession of 2008 to 2011.
Yes. So when they go sell, guess what? The partial claims that are made by HUD, those have to be paid off and released. And so, if you are discussing with your client, you're going on a listing appointment and you're discussing with your client, and you can see when you look at the tax records, because the tax records will show when they bought it. So you might have a general idea, hey, they bought it when the real estate market was hot, when it was high, everything was overpriced. So I would recommend and encourage you to work into your presentation or your discussion with your client. Hey, did you go through any loan modifications? And if they did, then I would recommend that you do a title search before you put that on the market. So that way you know what is out there, what liens need to be
Absolutely.
Because those liens can break a deal. Depending on the size of them and what you're trying to sell the house for, maybe it hasn't fully recovered, right? The value hasn't fully recovered so that you can cover that cost. So either, you might end up being in what's called a short sale situation if you really want to sell the house because there's not enough money to cover the liens, or you might go back to the bank and talk to them, or the seller might have to bring money to the table. And it can be a lot of money that they have to bring to the table. So that's really something I would encourage you, when you're out there, because that sellers are now, who are in that position, are now, trying to sell their houses because there's been some recovery, right? So their values have gone back up. So that's just really something I would encourage you not be afraid to talk about with your clients. I know it's hard and it's a sensitive subject.
It's heartbreaking when you get to the table and you find out and who turns out to be the bad guy. Yeah, who turns out to be the bad guy. And it's easy enough to have those conversations in front, you know, and these are things that cannot be erased. You know, they signed those agreements when they needed the help.
Yeah.
And there's no sense in rallying against that agreement. There really isn't. You know, they were there when they needed the help. They can't cash in now.
Right.
You know?
Right. You'll find a lot of times they don't remember. Right. And I totally get why, because at the time you're going through that process, you're under a lot of stress. You know, you're worried about losing your home. There's calls coming in left and right, emails, you know, letters, we can help you. So it's a very high stressful situation and there's a lot going on. So, you know, I get why homeowners sometimes forget about that. You know, you've got to have that conversation, because I guarantee you when that contract comes in and the title search is done, it will come up. It will be done, you know, it'll show up.
It's on the, it's, you know, they signed the agreement. It's on the deed now. You know, so.
Or the lender will say, hey,
that is a very timely, that's a very timely thing, you know, because we have, you know, consumers read the news just as much as we do.
Right.
And there's all these reports and articles about the appreciation of homes, 17% appreciation, you know, and all of that. And they're saying, oh, we can get out of it. Yeah, we can sell now, you know. Yeah, I get it. Well, thank you for bringing that to us, Karen. That is important news.
Very important.
What about you, Christina? What you've got for us today?
So I actually went to an eWomen networking event yesterday, which was amazing. The women there are absolutely supportive and wonderful in the industry. And one of the main things we talked about was referrals and how important they are, where they come from. And recently I had a client who, you know, was looking to refinance, but they weren't sure if they were going to move. So it's my job to advise people to their best interest. So making sure that if it's in their best interest to refinance, I tell them that, but if it's not, I'm going to tell them that as well. And because of that recommendation for them, I was able to get 2 more referrals. So my main point is, even if it's not time for that person to necessarily refinance, that can lead you to other referrals. And help build that base for you. So people are going to build that trust with you because you're honest with them. So completely segueing off of what Karen was saying, but you know, my business, and I know all of our businesses are based off of referrals. And you really want to build that confidence and that trust in your client base, because they're the ones who are going to be talking about you. And when I have, you know, my friends hearing people who want to purchase a home or refinance, I want my name to be the first one that comes up in their brain to tell somebody. So I don't have a whole lot more than that today, other than it's still a really good time to refinance. Barry Habib from MBS Highway was actually just talking about, I posted a video about it on my page, that yes, now is the time to refinance. And yes, rates could definitely go down again, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. So it definitely is still advisable to do that right now.
Right.
And I'm happy to take a look for anyone who needs it.
Let me ask you this, Christina, are you calling all of your realtor partners and asking them if they are calling their database?
Yes.
And giving
Absolutely.
names?
Absolutely. Yes.
2 thumbs up for that one, my friend. I've been telling all of
you
my
have to.
Yes, you've got to remind them that you are their partner.
Yes.
You are their partner. And, you know, I have been telling all my coaching clients this, and I'll tell all of you realtors out there, if you're not picking up your database and calling them and telling them that they need to talk to your partner and get a mortgage tune-up, just a quote, you know, just let's look at it. Let's see what it looks like.
And
it doesn't hurt to do that.
And they could also get cashed out.
Hundreds per month, thousands per year. You
Right.
know, so why not do it now? I mean, they're historically low now. Will they go down? Who knows? Who knows? Even here in South Georgia, my daughter lives here. And I told her, you need to be calling your. As a matter of fact, I'm having lunch with her loan officer down here. Yeah, and I'm like, why aren't you calling him? Did you call him? I did. And they said, you called him? I said, yes, I did. Are you kidding?
Of course.
Of course I did. I'm a real estate professional. I'm going to call the people that are in play down here because we are in the business of helping people.
Yes.
And we are in the business of helping them with their housing needs, with whatever it is. And as a real estate professional, we literally have to be a jack of all trades.
Yes.
And if you don't call your database and call them when things like this come up, then you're a transactional agent. And that's not a sustainable model.
Right.
Everybody can talk about the technology. We can talk about Amazon and Reality, and how they're going to take away the agent and everything. The way to fight back is by being relational. And that is it right there. So be a relational agent. Ladies, I always appreciate your time and your input here. And hopefully we can do this again next week. I'm actually hoping to be back in Virginia next week. So
I thought you weren't coming back.
Well, I got to get my stuff. Gotta get my stuff, girl. I mean, I only brought, like 2 suitcases full of clothes, and this is just, and I can't buy anymore because I gotta haul it off,
Right.
Yeah. It's a conundrum, that
is the dilemma.
14 hours will solve.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm looking to come back next week. But anyway, ladies, we'll see you then. Okay.
Yeah, good.
All right. Take care.
Enjoy your day.
All right.
Bye. Bye.